The Ego electric mini bike is a whole lot of fun, but the foot pegs that it comes with leaves a little bit to be desired. It doesn't feel very confident when you put your foot on it. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna show you how to swap that out for that. Here's the reason why you probably want to do this modification. Because as you can see, the factory Ego mini bike foot peg is very narrow. You don't really have a whole lot of contact area. So here's how we're gonna fix that. Okay, this is what most people I've seen seem to buy. Let's get a good look at these things. All right, so this is what it looks like. Pretty sturdy, one-piece design, if you don't count the pegs here. These things I can see, if you bump your shin on it, it would not feel good. You also get some extra pins, and it looks like some extra little pegs right there. Yeah, if you want to remove them or replace them, you need a 5mm socket. What I'm thinking about doing is maybe removing all of these and maybe 3D printing just a little peg that goes in there to keep dirt and crud from getting in there, because these are a little more aggressive than probably what I need. Something else to keep in mind, there are a lot of different sizes of these on Amazon, so make sure you get the right one. I will link to the correct one in the description below if you want to pick up a set. But let's go and see what it takes to install these. Now, removing the existing foot peg should be pretty straightforward. We're going to just remove this cotter pin right here. We're going to remove this pin, pull it out, remove the foot peg and the associated spring. Wow, just like that. Here's how they compare. Quite a difference. Now I'm going to warn you that if you're going to do this mod, don't expect to use the spring that came with the original foot peg or the spring that came with the new foot peg, because I wrestled with it for over an hour, learned new swear words, tore up my hand on these teeth right here, and then I realized it's just not going to work. And I found out online that a lot of people had the same experience. So what I did is I got a hold of a 5/16 by 1 1/4 socket shoulder screw with a 1/4 thread on the end of it, a couple of washers, and a lock nut, and I got, one set for each of the foot pegs. And here's what it looks like assembled, and you can see where I just chewed everything up trying to get that spring to fit, and before I just gave up. Now, speaking of the spring, obviously without that spring in place, it won't flip up and then spring back down by itself. And there is going to be a little bit of play in between these two ears right here. So what I did is I fired up my 3D printer and I printed up some 3/4mm washers out of TPU rubber material. And you can see I put them right there and right there, filled that gap, and also allows me to flip the foot peg up when I want to and then put it back down, but it takes a little bit of effort, so it's not going to do it by itself. And if you don't have a 3D printer, you might be able to just get away with putting in some regular washers in there or some nylon washers, or just leave them out. Might rattle around a little bit, might flop around a little bit, but either way, that's the solution. Oh yeah, looks really good now. And here's what it looks like to get your foot on there. You can see it's just got a lot more contact area. Of course, those teeth really bite into your shoes. I could feel it while I was recording this. Definitely more confidence inspiring, a lot more stable, a lot more secure. And on one last note, I did decide to take all the teeth or studs or whatever you want to call them off. It was just a little more aggressive than what I needed. It's not like I'm going to go, motocross racing with an Ego mini bike, right? One thing I thought was really funny is that you can see there's no provision for a tooth right here, but there is right there. Kind of weird. But anyway, I think these are overall a pretty dang good upgrade. Makes your riding feel a lot more confident, and it looks cool. So if you want a set, like I said, you got to make sure you get the right ones. I'll put a link in the description below to the right ones. If you got any questions, give me a buzz in the comments below. But otherwise, I'll see you soon for more easy Ego mods. JD Tinker out.